Hello and welcome back to another edition of Michelle McKay Yoga. I missed you guys last weekend. It was Memorial Weekend and there was a birthday celebration. So I was remiss and didn't do a video. However, the next few weeks I am going to be submerged in a Yoga Works teacher training via Zoom. And so a lot of the things that I'm doing there, I'll be doing here with you. So if you've ever thought about wanting to be a yoga teacher, these next videos are going to be very helpful for you. So I'll be breaking down the poses, again, a little bit more workshop style, but if you don't like that, there's a Vinyasa Flow YouTube video, there's, beginner videos, breathing stretch, there's everything. This is just more driven to if you want to consider teaching yoga. Okay, so you'll need a couple of blocks and a strap, and we're going to start laying on our backs. So if you have a wall space, that's great because I'm going to have you press your feet into the wall. But if you don't, you could use your blocks. And I'm going to use the blocks just because I think it'll be a better angle. And it's a lot of talking, so I might need to take a sip or two of my beverage. Today it's coffee. And I wish there was smell-o-vision because I wish you could smell this beautiful rose that's from Roger's garden that is growing quite lovely right now. All right, without further ado, come to laying on your backs and just start to get aware of your breath. So you're going to start breathing in and out through your nose, and you're going to start what we call Ujjayi breathing. So Ujjayi breathing is that breathing in and out through your nose. There's a slight constriction of the throat, and it has an audible quality. It might sound like you're fogging the mirror, or the sound you might hear if you have a shell to your ear. And if you're not quite aware of that sort of breathing, you could place one hand at your heart and one hand at your belly and just observe what happens when you breathe in and observe what happens when you breathe out. And see if you can keep that breathing in and out through your nose, right? So Ujjayi breathing is victorious breath. And you want to keep this victorious breath throughout the duration of the practice. So, as you're breathing in, start to observe the different areas of your body. I'm going to call these platforms. So observe what's happening with your feet, your first platform. And then observe what's happening with your hips, your second platform. And then observe what's happening with your shoulders, your third platform. So from the ground up, you want to observe. So it's just like when you build a house. You want the foundation to be correct. Otherwise, the house is going to be in disarray. Well, same thing with the body. You want your body to be correct. Otherwise, your body is going to be in disarray. So we start laying on our backs because that's usually the most feasible and most easiest way for us human beings to kind of come into our bodies and our awareness. And then we're going to translate that into standing. When you're ready, stretch your arms overhead, take a deep inhale. And then when you exhale, draw your knees in towards you, wrap your arms around your legs. You can move a little bit from side to side. And then if you have a wall space, you're going to turn to that wall space and have your soles of the feet at the wall. And then I'm just going to use these blocks to replicate a wall and have your strap close by. So the block is going to be at my feet. And why are we doing that? So either at the feet or at the wall, is just to remind you of what your feet are doing. And I'll have you lift your head up so that you can look to see what your feet are doing. It's quite interesting. So you're either going to press your feet into a wall or blocks. And then lift your head up and look at your feet and just notice what your feet are doing. So you want all 10 of your toes to point straight up to the ceiling. And try to align the center of your the center of your heel with the second and or third toe. Right? And then once you've established that, lay back down. Keep the left leg pressing into the wall or a brick. Draw the right knee in towards you. Oops, I forgot to bring my strap. Hug the right knee in, and then take your strap or whatever you have, it could be a towel, and extend that heel straight up to the ceiling. So we're creating two perfectly straight legs. You might recall I've done a video about the hamstrings. We're going to do a lot of hamstrings, but this is just more talking. The back of that leg super straight, right? The right thigh bone descending into the hip socket. So this is a way of doing Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana, hand to big toe. Stay here, inhale. And then when you exhale, bend your right knee, release the strap or whatever you have, extend the right leg forward and straight. Extend out through the heels. Flex the feet like you were standing on the ground. And then draw your left knee in towards you. Take your left outer hip and move it to the space that's in front of it. And then take your device to the archway of your foot and extend it up to the ceiling. Right? So notice that the thighs, they are neutral in the hip sockets. They're not rolling out, right? They're not really rolling in. They're just perfectly straight as they relate to the pelvis, right? Flex the feet. Let that left outer hip go to the space that's in front of it. Slightly drop the chin. Keep breathing in and out through your nose. Stay here for your inhale. Now when you exhale, bend your left knee. Release your left leg forward and straight. And then recall your first platform. What's going on with your feet? Then your second platform. What's going on with your hips? Then your third platform. What's going on with your shoulders? And can you stack from the ground up? So from your feet to the crown of your head. Take an inhale, extend the arms overhead. And then when you exhale, release the arms straight up to the ceiling. Notice if the ribs started to flare. So get the ribs to draw in, right? So we would also refer to this as the laws of compensation. Think of the gymnast when they take their arms back, they go into that big back bend and it's like they stuck it. But try to reverse that by drawing your front ribs in towards your frontal hip point. Stay here, inhale. And then exhale, release your arms to your sides, bend your knees, place your feet onto the mat. Draw your knees in towards you, lift your forehead up towards your knees, make yourself really come back, stay here, inhale. And then exhale, if you can, rock and roll so you can come up to sit. And then just place your props to one side. And then come to child's pose. So from your child's pose, extend it and notice if you can get the arms to be really active and straight. And then lift your head up, look to the hands, press the fingertips down, the knuckles and the heels of the hands down. Lift the forearms, rotate the upper arms away from the ears. And then you're going to inhale to shift your weight forward. Exhale to curl your toes under. Lift the legs from the floor, or lift the knees from the floor, down dog pose. Allow the head to hang. Spin the upper arms away from your ears. Lower arms down towards the mat. Maybe get the eyes of your elbows to face one another. Take an inhale here. And then when you exhale, gently release the knees down. Go back to child's pose. Now one more time. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Exhale, curl your toes under, lift the knees from the mat. Downward dog pose. Now as you inhale, glide forward to plank pose. As you exhale, lift the hips up and back, down dog pose. Try it with the block. So take the block to the inner thighs. Inhale to plank pose. Exhale, back to down dog pose. Twice more, inhale to plank. Exhale, down dog. And then one more time, inhale to plank. Exhale, down dog. And now walk your hands back to meet your feet. So you'll be in a forward fold Uttanasana at the back edge of your mat. So if you have tight hamstrings, you might have to keep your knees bent. And also, you might not be able to reach the floor, so you could use blocks underneath your hands. But here what we're trying to achieve is spinning the inner thighs back, outer thighs forward, and drawing the energy up into the pelvis, right? Keep a good squeeze of that block. Take an inhale, lift the heart. And then when you exhale, fold back down. Bring your hands to your outer hips. Inhale, come up to stand up. And then exhale, release the arms to your sides. And then I'm going to fix the screen so you can see me a little bit better because my head is off the screen. But it made more sense when I was down. So the next thing that we're going to do, let's say you couldn't do down dog because there's an injury or a condition and having that much weight bearing is hard on your hands, your wrists, and your shoulders. You could come into what is called puppy dog pose. And pardon me because my back will be turned to you. But you take your hands to your frontal hip points, right? And then you move away from the wall. So the hands go to the frontal hip points. You walk away. And you look like the capital letter L, right? So that's a way of doing downward dog that's not weight bearing. And then you walk back in. In the meantime, take a hold of your block once again. Take your block to your inner thighs. And then like we were doing laying on the ground, I talked about those platforms. Your feet are grounded, right? You're grounded across the four corners of each foot. That's your first platform. And then your second platform, your hips. Pelvis is neutral. If it was a bowl of water, it's neither spilling forward or backwards or out to the sides. And then think about your third platform, your shoulders, right? And that's going to protect your head and your neck. So whatever is above it, the feet, they're protecting what's above it. So for example, my feet, they're grounded, right? So they're protecting my ankles and my knees. My pelvis, it's level, it's protecting my lower back. My shoulders, even broad across the collarbones, protecting my neck. So remember that analogy of the house building on solid foundation. We'll build on solid foundation from here. Tadasana, mountain pose. If you can do Tadasana correctly, you can do all of the asanas. So remember, Tadasana is the blueprint for all of your standing poses. Keep a good squeeze of the blocks. We're going to do sun salutes with the blocks. So inhale, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, fold. And you recall, I have about 3 other videos just dedicated to sun salutes. Inhale, lift your chest up. Exhale to fold back down. Now press down into your feet. Inhale, reach the arms up as you look up. And then exhale back to center. Could be at your heart, could be at your sides. Inhale, stretch and reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward, fold inward. Inhale, lengthen the chest forward. Exhale to fold back down. Root down into your feet. Inhale, stretch the arms out and up, reach up, look up. And then exhale back to center. And then place that block to one side, but try to keep that feeling of drawing the energy up into the pelvis, right? Place the blocks to one side. Find your way to the top edge of your mat. I want to show you one other thing. I'll show you from the side and also show you from front on. So remember when we were laying on the mat, and I said to take the arms overhead, right? And then I said, think about that gymnast, that's the laws of compensation. This is the easier way to go, right? But then you want to draw that back in, right? So not that, not the gymnast, the yogist. That's not even a word, but anyway. So reach up. This is Uttanasana in Tadasana, or Urdhva Hastasana, arms raised in Tadasana. Let the front bottom ribs drift towards your frontal hip points. Extend out with the fingertips, lift the heart, lift the chest. Stay here, inhale. And then exhale, release the arms to your sides. So we'll do sun salute A, broken down. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen your chest. When you exhale, step your right foot back to a lunge. Step the left foot back to meet the right, plank pose. And then shift your weight forward, bend your elbows, come all the way down to the ground. Place the tops of the feet down and inhale, lift to cobra. And then exhale, lower your cobra. Curl your toes under, lift the inner thighs. Inhale, plank pose. And then exhale, lift the hips up and back, downward dog pose. See if you can create, really straight arms and really straight legs. Draw the navel in and up towards the spine. Let the head be framed by your upper arm bones. Take an inhale here. And then when you exhale, bring your feet forward. Inhale, lengthen the chest. Exhale, fold back down. Now press down into your feet. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, step the opposite foot back. Then bring the right foot back to meet the left. Shift the weight forward, bend your elbows. If you're ready for up dog, take it. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. And then exhale, roll over your toes as you draw back to downward dog pose. Keep breathing in and out through your nose. Keep spinning your upper arms away from the ears. As you look back to the legs, press your thighs back, stretch the inner and outer heels towards the mat. Take an inhale here. And then as you exhale, bring your feet forward. Inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale to fold back down. Press down into your feet. Inhale, reach your arms up. And then exhale back to center. So one more Surya Namaskara, a classic, if you will. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen the chest. Exhale, plant your palms, take your feet back and lower. Inhale, up dog. Exhale to down dog. From your downward dog, take an inhale, reach the right leg up and back. Do whatever feels good in your body to lift that leg up. Level off the hips. And then inhale, take that left leg up and back. Do whatever feels good in your body as you lift that leg up. Then level off the hips. Bring your feet forward. Lift the heart. Inhale. Fold back down. Exhale. Press down into your feet. Inhale. Reach your arms up as you look up. And then exhale back to center. Okay, so now we'll do some hip opening standing poses. Not a lot. We'll probably do more of that next week. We'll focus more on externally rotated poses. This time, neutral. Have your block close by. If you have two, then you don't have to move your block from side to side. And then take your legs as wide as they are long. Place your block behind your right heel. And then from deep within the hip socket, turn your whole right leg out. Turn the left toes in and the left heel out. Open your arms to the height of your shoulders. Take an inhale. Ideally, you want the left heel of hand over the left outer ankle. Right heel of hand over the right knee. Take an inhale. And then exhale, bend your right knee coming into warrior two. That's me scooching down on my mat. So the right outer hip's going to drop, the left inner thigh is going to lift. Take an inhale here. Then when you exhale, bring your hands to your hips. Straighten out that right leg. So now the pelvis is going to shift back towards your left heel. Open your arms to the height of your shoulders. Uttanasana Trikonasana. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, right hand to shin block or floor, left arm up. So press into the big toe mound of your right foot and the heel and little toe side of your left foot. Right ribs forward, left ribs backwards. Press down into your feet. Inhale, come back up. And then exhale, parallel the legs. Transfer the block to the second side. Externally rotate your left leg in the hip socket. Turn the right toes in, right heel out. Open the arms to the height of your shoulders. Inhale, exhale, Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2. Try to work towards getting that left thigh parallel to the ground. And it might take a few breaths to get into the pose, which is fine. Keep bending that left knee. Keep the arms at the same height. And then draw that left hip back. Shift the pelvis towards your right heel. As you inhale, reach towards your left side. As you exhale, left hand to shin block or floor. Right arm up to the ceiling. Uttanasana Trikonasana, second side. Lift your kneecaps, lift your quads. Left side of chest moving forward, right side of chest moving backwards. Make sure you're stacking the right shoulder over the left. And the good thing about either Zoom or YouTube, or depending on how you're watching your device, you can take a look at yourself and see if you're in the correct alignment. Press down into your feet, inhale, come back up. And then exhale, release the arms, parallel the legs. So all 10 toes are pointing in the same direction. Now we're going into Pasarita Padajasana A. Thigh bones are neutral. We did 2 hip openings, but the focus again is neutral. As you inhale, reach the arms up to the sky, or to the ceiling. And then exhale, fold. Take an inhale to lift your heart. And then exhale to fold back down. So all 10 toes are pointing forward. All fingertips are pointing forward. The arches of the feet are lifted, the outer ankle bones are hugging in. Now imagine you had a block in between your elbows and you're firming into that block. Distribute the weight evenly across the 4 corners of each foot. Let the head hang. Lift the kneecaps, lift the quads. Let the shoulder blades move up towards your waist. Keep breathing in and out through your nose. And then as you inhale, bring your hands to your hips. Take an exhale. And then inhale, lead with your upper back as you come up to stand. And then exhale, step or jump your feet together. So coming back to Tadasana. Grounded across the 4 corners of each foot. Kneecaps lifted, quads lifted. Heart and chest lift up, shoulders roll back and down. Chin level with the ground, crown of the head stretching out. Tadasana, mountain pose. Now grab your 2 blocks. We're going to do some work with the wall and the blocks. Sometimes fun, sometimes not. So you're going to have 1 block at the inner thighs, and the other block is going to be at your hands, or in your hands, sorry. And then you're going to have, I'm sure you've done this, especially if you've done a group fitness class, it's a wall sit, right? Wall sit, or in yoga, we call it Uttanasana, fierce pose. The kids on the street call it chair pose, right? All right, so you're sitting down at the wall, and your block is at your inner thighs, like you did in down dog to plank. And then you're going to hold on to your other block at the heels of your hands. Reach your arms forward, draw your arm bones back into the arm sockets. And then as you inhale, without letting the front ribs flare, reach the arms up any amount. Remember the laws of compensation. Make sure the front bottom ribs are not moving forward, but they're drawing into your body. Keep a good squeeze of that block. See if you can sit a little bit deeper, and then firm into the block that's in your hands so your upper arms, they're spinning away from your ears. You're externally rotating the arm bones and the arm sockets, and you're generating a lot of heat in the thighs and the quads. Stay here, inhale. Then when you exhale, put the block down, use your hands to the wall, push off of the wall, come up to stand up. So it's a wall sit, right? All right, come back to the front edge of your mat. Keep keep that memory, if you will, of the block being at the inner thighs. And try to use the props like as an imprint to remind you of the actions that your body should do. As you inhale, bend your knees, reach your arms up, chair pose. As you exhale, fold. As you inhale, lengthen the chest forward. As you exhale, reach your left leg back. So keep the right foot forward, the left leg backwards. And then take a hold of your block. Hold it at the heels of your hands. And as you inhale, lift up, crescent lunge. Keep a good squeeze of that block. Keep the heels of the hands pressing into the block. Don't let your front bottom ribs jet out. Try not to be the gymnast. Draw the belly in. Release your shoulder blades down towards your waist. Stay here, inhale. Then when you exhale, put the block down. Bring your left foot forward to meet the right. Take an inhale, lift your chest up. And then as you exhale, reach back with the right foot. This time, take the block to the small of your back. Hold on to the block, reach the block backwards. Extend the chest forwards. Take an inhale here. Then when you exhale, lift the body up. Crescent lunge, but this time the arms are down. Fingertips are pointing towards the earth. Roll the fronts of the arms towards the backs of the arms. Can you create some space between the block and your lower body? Stay here for the inhale. Then when you exhale, put the block down. Bring the right foot forward to meet the left. Inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, fold back down. Press down into your feet. Inhale, reach the arms up, look up. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. If you can, join your feet together. Inhale, bend your knees, arms up, chair pose, Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the heart. As you exhale, plant your palms, take your feet back, lower your body down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Bring the right foot forward, left heel down. Inhale as you rise to warrior one. So now asymmetrical neutral, right hip back, left hip forward. Reach the arms up, palms face each other. These terms will make more sense as we progress. Lift your heart, lift your chest, maybe the palms touch. Now when you exhale, bring the hands down. Continue to look forward, step backwards. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, down dog. Bring your left foot forward. Spin your back heel in and down. And then inhale, come up, Virabhadrasana 1. Reach up, look up. Inner right thigh spinning to the space that's behind it. Little toe side of right foot sealed to the ground. Arms reaching up, palms maybe touch. And then keep exhaling as you take it all the way back to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to down dog for about 5 breaths. Root through your hands, root through your feet. Lift the kneecaps, lift the quads. Recreate that work of the block, thigh bones drawing up. Inner and outer heels pressing to the ground. Take an inhale here. And then when you exhale, bring your feet forward. Lift your heart, inhale. Fold back down, exhale. Inhale, bend your knees, reach your arms up, return to Uttanasana. Then exhale, stand, Tadasana. Root through the 4 corners of each foot. Lift your kneecaps, lift your quads. Lift the heart, lift the chest. Roll your shoulders back and down. Chin level with the ground, crown of the head, reaching up to the ceiling. Rooting down, rebounding up. Step bridge up your feet wide apart. Pasarita Pada Tadasana C. Inhale. As you exhale, fold. See if you can, bring your arms behind you, interlace the fingers with each other. Pada Tadasana C. Crown of the head reaching down. Continue to lift the kneecaps, lift the quads. Notice if the arches of the feet are collapsing. Can you lift the arches up and hug the outer ankle bones in? Press to those 4 corners of each foot. Stretch the arms overhead. Bring those shoulder blades closer together. Draw the belly in. Inhale, come up to stand. And then exhale, step bridge up your feet together. Come back to the front edge of your mat. As you inhale, stretch your arms up. As you exhale, fold. As you inhale, lift your heart. As you exhale, just step back to down dog. Take a few breaths in your downward dog. Stay here for the inhale. Then when you exhale, lower the knees and sit on a block. So you're going to sit in between your feet. If you don't need to sit on the block, you don't have to. And pause in Virasana, hero pose. So notice again that the thigh bones are neutral in the hip sockets. As you look back at your feet, make sure all 10 toes are going back to the space that's behind it. You're pressing the tops of the feet down. The arches of the feet are either hugging onto your outer hips, your outer hips, or they're hugging onto that block, depending on whether you're sitting in between your feet or sitting on the block. Okay. Take an inhale here. And then take your arms out to the height of your shoulders. Externally rotate the arms and the arm sockets. Internally rotate the arm bones and the arm sockets because we're turning inward. And then bring your arms behind you into your version of reverse prayer. So my hands are like so, but behind my back. And then you're going to swim the hands up towards the nape of your neck and draw the elbows slightly back. Keep the belly drawing in. Keep reaching the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Stay here, inhale. Then exhale, release the arms. Pause in your Virasana hero pose. And then gently make your way to all fours, so you're on your hands and your knees. Place the block to one side. Come to downward dog. Take an inhale here. Then when you exhale, bring your feet forward. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, fold back down. Bring your hands to your outer hips. Inhale, come up to stand. Exhale, release your hands. Pyramid pose, step your left foot back. Ankle all 10 of your toes to point forward. So when I was on the floor, I internally rotated the arms. I brought the arms behind me, right? And then I came into reverse prayer. Lift the heart, lift the chest. Inhale. Exhale, tuck your chin, fold. Right hip is drawing back, left hip is drawing forward. And as you hinge over your hips, take a look at the big toe mound of your right foot. Make sure it's pressing down. Draw the right hip back, left hip forward, press into your feet. Inhale, come up to stand. And then exhale, bring your left foot forward to meet the right. Step that right foot back. Your left heel could line up with your right heel, or it could line up with nothing. See if you can swim the hands up a little bit further. As you inhale, towards the nape of your neck. As you inhale, lift the heart and chest up. As you exhale, tuck the chins. So you're hinging over the pelvis, right? Left hip is back, right hip is forward. Keep the big toe mound of your left foot pressing down. Keep the little toe side of your right foot anchored down to the mat. And maybe turn the heart and the chest a little bit towards your left side. Keep the outer hips firming in towards one another. Stay here for the inhale. Stay here for the exhale. Now press down into your feet. Inhale, come up to stand up. Exhale, bring your feet forward. Release the arms. Rebuild your Tadasana. Smooth, steady breathing in and out through your nose. And we'll do one more posture. We'll do tree pose on blocks. Just to challenge your balance. So I have big feet. I have to use 2 blocks. So you're going to stand with the left leg on the blocks, if you're doing that with me, and then bring your right leg into tree. So notice that the pelvis is neutral in all 3 planes, right? Transverse, coronal, and I'm forgetting one, but it'll come to me probably in the middle of the night. Take your arms out to the height of your shoulders. Now externally rotate the arms and the arm sockets. Reach the arms up. Keep your outer hips firming towards one another. So my standing leg is neutral. My lifted leg is external. Stay here, inhale. Then exhale, release the arms. Release your leg that's in tree. Step off of the blocks. Bend the knees, wiggle the toes. Come back to your mountain pose. And now the right leg's going to go on the blocks. And then you're going to take your left leg into tree pose. So try to get the heel of your foot to slightly spin towards forward. Externally rotate the arms and the arm sockets. Reach the arms up. Draw the belly in, release the shoulders down. Stay here for the inhale. And then exhale, release your tree leg. Come off of your props. And because the balance was so good for you guys, let's do one more balance pose and then we'll take it down. We'll call it a day, if you will. We started laying on our backs with the strap. Let's try it again. Let's do it standing up. Have all 10 toes pointing forward. Draw your right knee in toward you. Take your strap to the archway of that foot. Take your left hand to your left hip. And as you exhale, extend that right leg forward and straight. So this is Uttanasana Tadasana. We did this laying on our backs. Notice most of the things we did laying on our backs, we eventually did standing up. Stay here for the inhale. Then when you exhale, bend your knee, release the strap, come back to your mountain pose. Turn sides. Or you can stay exactly the same. Take that strap to the archway of your left foot. Hold onto the strap with your left hand. Right hand on right hip. Take an inhale. Make sure your right toes are facing forward. And then exhale, extend that left leg forward and straight. Your left arm bone is going into the arm socket. The left thigh bone is going to the hip socket. And you don't have to lift your leg up. All you have to do is lift your hand and your leg goes with you, right? Keep breathing in and out through your nose. Root down through your standing leg. Reach up through the crown of your head. Stay here. Inhale. And then exhale. Release the knee. Release the strap. Come back to the front edge of your mat. As you inhale, reach the arms up. As you exhale, fold. As you inhale, lift the heart, lift the chest. As you exhale, take your feet back. A vinyasa or not, completely up to you. Take a pause here. And then lower your knees. Either sit on your feet or in between your feet. Full circle. Well, that's kind of an introduction to a teacher training with a focus on Tadasana, mountain pose. Did a lot of neutral poses, right? So hopefully you feel grounded and steady. Please feel free to leave me any questions, comments, or concerns. I enjoy the feedback. I'm so grateful for this YouTube community. It's really getting me through this whole pandemic situation, and we're on the verge of opening all the way up, which is great. I will be doing this teacher training from June to July, so you'll have some videos that will be more workshop-y, and of course I have my other videos that are Vinyasa Flow, and you'll have some silly little videos of me being kind of campy and strange. What can I tell you? No makeup, just all about the yoga practice, coming to you very, well, from an authentic place. So if you haven't already, please subscribe. Like the video, give it a thumbs up. Would love to see you again. I'm here usually every Saturday live around the 11 o'clock hour. So in the meantime, peace out, yogis, and ciao for now.